Alright, so this is one of my favorite mods actually. I know a lot of people have been saying the death mod is one of the hardest mods, but I love for them to see this mod. Wait till you see what this does. So, let's jump into the water here. I've always found the creatures in Subnautica to kind of just not be really a threat. Once you kind of know how to figure out what each creature does, you kind of can avoid them with little to no problem. For example here, the stalker. You know, one of the most common predators you meet in the beginning of the game, besides the crashfish. So, right now, you know, he's just collecting his metal, doing his usual stalker things, and only becomes hostile if I get near him or end up taking his metal, as you can see. And if you know Subnautica, you can easily avoid most creatures by, well, he bit me, but you can avoid most creatures by just simply going in a circle. Once you at least have fins or some sort of upgrade for the fins, you can usually go faster. But we're going to show you what happens when I switch to the nighttime with this mod I have installed. Just so everyone knows, the mod is called, give me one sec, Aggressive Fauna. And that's not from Nexus. You actually have to get that from the actual Subnautica modding website. I'll list the link in the description below. So, there's a lot of options here. You can literally customize it to your liking. But I've kind of changed the creatures, how hostile they are at nighttime. So the daytime, they'll do their usual thing and act like how they usually act in Subnautica. But once nighttime comes, we'll switch it over to the nighttime and see what happens, actually. Got a big smirk on my face showing you guys this.
Congratulations,
so,
survivor.
Moment nighttime hits.
Your weekly exercise quotient by 500%.
You can see the stalker immediately charges me.
Was your favorite activity. Be sure to
and the thing about him, he's not going to stop. And there might be even other stalkers that will come out of nowhere. And he's going to keep becoming hostile to me. And what's crazy is they can see me from much further away. So, the only really way is to show you. Let's spawn a sea moth here. As you can see, this son of a bitch is already quite hostile. And it's awesome because they will attack you for much longer than what they usually attack you for. For example, here you go. Look at the charge of how long he's attacking me for. He really wants me. And see, this is what I always felt the base game lacked. The hostility from these creatures, like, you know, why would they just, you know, simply bite you once and then, you know, kind of go away? Doesn't make any sense. So this basically makes all the creatures quite hostile to you like this. As you can see, he's chased me for a good minute until he's actually been able to bite my sea moth here. He'll bite my sea moth, and he's going to keep trying to bite it, which I absolutely love. So let's go over and that's just a stalker. Let's see what happens if I go somewhere else. Let's say a more dangerous biome. The dunes. And not only are they more hostile, they can see me almost from like 3 times the distance. So watch this. The moment I come in here at nighttime, you're gonna see those sand sharks are gonna be a lot more hostile than what they usually are. As you can see. Along with, oh shit. What's nice is these guys can't damage you. The bone sharks, on the other hand, the sand sharks mean They're kind of one of the more derpy things, you know, in the game. Let's spawn something really hostile, though. Let's do a nice example here. Bone shark. Let's do 20 of them. Holy crap. Alright. As you can see, make sure it's nighttime
Detecting
still.
increased foreign bacteria levels in the water.
As you can see how
Performing a
hostile they are.
self-scan is advised.
Absolutely wild. And they're relentless too. They won't stop usually. So my goal is I'm gonna probably end up playing the whole game through with these settings on. And it's gonna scare the ever-living crap out of me. But I think it's gonna be worth it for my first Subnautica video, basically. So this is kind of just a little teaser of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kind of go through the mod list and tweak everything to make sure everything's, you know, perfect before I do this. I might include the settings in the video description just so that everybody can, you know, play along if they want to. Well, I'm gonna end it here. Kind of, I'm not gonna get into the bigger creatures right now. Kind of, that would kind of spoil it, so that'll be kind of for my playthrough. Just give you a little example of how hostile this mod makes creatures. Like, I know the Death Run has a more aggressive creature feature, but it just doesn't do the justice that this aggressive fauna mod does. So full credit to the author. Actually, I'm going to include his name and description in the video because what he's done here has made the game so much more fun and actually made the creatures, you know, actually kind of hostile to a point where they're not going to stop, you know, after one bite. They're going to bite you and they're going to keep coming like they're an actual shark or something, like in real life, you know. How many, you know, not everybody gets bit by a shark once and gets away with it, you know. There's some cases like that, but sometimes, you know, the sharks don't stop, especially if you look at the case of all the sailors going overboard with all the, what were those sharks? I forget, but it's a infamous story because a lot of them sadly lost their lives. But anyways, I hope this does the justice, and I'm gonna do some edits on this and stuff, make sure it's not so jank. This is kind of my first video and stuff, so we'll see how this goes. Well, thank you. I'm not gonna ask you to subscribe or anything. I'm just gonna see if you guys enjoy it. If it's something that you want to subscribe to, go ahead. I really don't care if you subscribe or not, because it's not my obligation. If you like the content, that's your obligation to subscribe. If you don't like it, well, then don't subscribe, because that's not your, you know, it's not your type of content for you. I'm not gonna ask you to subscribe to content you don't like. That's just kind of pointless, you know. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you.